Welcome to Psalms from the Couch. Today we're in Psalm 11. A psalm for the days when everything feels fragile, when fear is loud, and when the world seems unsteady beneath our feet. It's a psalm that teaches us where to place our confidence when escape feels like the only option. Let's read Psalm 11 together to the choir master of David. In the Lord I take refuge. How can you say to my soul, flee like a bird to your mountain? For behold, the wicked bend the bow. They have fitted their arrow to the string, to shoot in the dark at the upright in heart. If the foundations are destroyed, what can the righteous do? The Lord is in his holy temple. The Lord's throne is in heaven. His eyes see, his eyelids test the children of man. The Lord tests the righteous, but his soul hates the wicked and the one who loves violence. Let him rain coals on the wicked, fire and sulfur, and a scorching wind shall be the portion of their cup. For the Lord is righteous, he loves righteous deeds. The upright shall behold his face. Psalm 11 opens with a declaration, in the Lord I take refuge. David rejects panic and chooses trust over fear. He doesn't deny the danger, he simply names God as his safety before naming anything else. It's an invitation for us too. Before we talk about our fears, we anchor ourselves in the God who holds us. Then David turns to the voices around him, the people telling him to flee, to run to the mountains, to hide. Voices like these still echo in our lives today. Protect yourself, cut your losses, take control, get out before you hurt. These voices sound wise, but they are shaped by fear, not faith. David responds in verse 3 with a question that feels painfully relevant. If the foundations are destroyed, what can the righteous do? It's the question we ask when systems collapse, when values erode, when people fail us, when the world feels unpredictable. What can we do when the ground beneath us no longer feels solid? David's answer is in the heart of the psalm. The Lord is in his holy temple. The Lord's throne is in heaven. In other words, God is not moved. When everything shakes, he remains steady. When the world feels out of control, he remains enthroned. When we feel overwhelmed, he remains intimately aware. David continues with verse 4. His eyes see, his eyelids test the children of man. This is a poetic way of saying God pays attention, not distantly, not abstractly, but closely and intimately. He sees injustice, he sees the wickedness that feels unchecked. He sees the motives of every heart, and nothing escapes his notice. In verses 6 to 7, David reflects on God's moral clarity. The Lord tests the righteous, refining their faith and strengthening their integrity, but he hates wickedness. Evil does not stir his sympathy, it stirs his holy opposition. This reassures the believer that God is not indifferent. He evaluates and he responds with perfect righteousness. David describes the destiny of the wicked. God will bring judgment upon them. The imagery is severe, but it is the language of divine justice, righteousness defending the oppressed and bringing an end to corruption. And then in verse 7 comes the quiet confidence of the righteous. The Lord is righteous, he loves righteous deeds. David's hope is grounded not in the circumstances, but in the character of God. God's justice is not theoretical, his righteousness is not fragile, his love for what is good does not waver with the mood of the world. Proverbs 18 verse 10 says, "The name of the Lord is a strong tower, the righteous man runs into it and is safe." The psalm ends with a beautiful promise. The upright shall behold his face. It's a reminder that our story doesn't end in chaos, but in communion. Not in fear, but in nearness, and not in uncertainty, but in the presence of God Himself. Psalm 11 invites us to choose trust over panic, presence over escape, and confidence in God over confidence in our own ability to control outcomes. Psalm 11 reminds us that trust isn't rooted in stable circumstances, but in a stable God. When escape feels easier than courage, when fear feels louder than faith, and when the world feels fragile beneath our feet. This psalm invites us to lift our eyes. God is not moved. He sees what we cannot see. He holds what we cannot hold. And He remains our refuge even when life feels uncertain. Trust becomes possible not because the world is safe, but because the one who reigns over it is faithful. It's been good to find a bit of stillness on the couch with you today. Keep leaning into the word that steadies your steps.